All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Football Podcast. And for the final part of the show, we are going to talk about the Steelers deciding not to pick up the fifth-year option of Justin Fields, kind of talk about Fields' future. So they've reportedly decided not to do that after acquiring him in a trade from the Bears this offseason. The decision was made early ahead of the May 2nd deadline, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter. Fields has yet to play a snap for the Steelers. Again, I have to see if he does take snaps. I mean, in the preseason, yes, but in the regular season, because we know Russell Wilson is the starter. Again, jumped because my dog just barked. But, that always happens at least once. Well, I shouldn't say always, but mostly happens at least once on the show. But, yeah, anyways, back to Fields. So he hasn't played yet for the Steelers. It's definitely hard to commit to him when you haven't seen him do anything for your team yet. So that doesn't necessarily mean that, he's going to leave and go elsewhere. But maybe the Steelers and Fields, they try to renegotiate a contract, if they want to end up keeping him. But yeah, so the fifth-year option for Fields would have been around $25.6 million in 2025, which is considered starting quarterback money. And right now, Russell Wilson is the starter. So, they don't want to be paying him that kind of money when he's a backup. And yeah, so right now he's the backup behind Russell Wilson. I mean, again, the Steelers did a great job because they only gave up a 2025 sixth-round pick, which could become a fourth-rounder depending on Fields' playing time. But again, there's a chance that they could bring him back. I mean, he's probably going to have the ability to test free agency, but maybe the Steelers, they want to bring him back, but they want to negotiate a deal with him. And we'll see if that ends up happening. But I don't blame the Steelers for doing that. Like I said, I think I did say this on a previous show, but I feel like you traded for him. I feel like you want to try to keep him around because again, like there's the Steelers completely changed their quarterback room. It could be different again, completely different again in 2025 because Russell Wilson's only here for a 1-year deal. You're not picking up Justin Fields' fifth-year option. And then you got also Kyle Allen's on the team. All those guys might end up being gone. And then you have nothing. But there's also the chance that they could draft a quarterback later in the draft. So maybe you'll have that quarterback that's still on the team. Which I feel like the Steelers could do that. They could take another quarterback just so they have another one on the roster. But I don't know. Well, then you're carrying 4 quarterbacks and you can't really, but we'll see. We'll see if that ends up happening. So, but yeah, I mean, again, I don't blame the Steelers for doing this. I think this is the right thing to do because, again, you haven't seen what he could do with your team yet. And on top of that, he's not going to be your starter. Russell Wilson is. But I think when Russell Wilson does end up, well, I shouldn't say is going to, but if Russell Wilson possibly struggles and you need to make a change, well, then you're going to see Justin Fields step into that role, and the Steelers are going to get to evaluate him and see what they got with him. And again, I'm not sure how he's going to do because, again, did play better when he came back from injury with the Bears last season. The Bears as a team were playing better. So, but again, I think we still need to see more out of Fields. Because again, when he takes off with the ball, he's electric. Dynamic playmaker with his legs. But and the arm talent is there, but again, still needs to work on being an accurate passer and, limiting turnovers. That's something that we need to see more out of Fields. Because again, you see the arm talent. And there's plenty of quarterbacks that have arm talent, but you also got to be smart with it and be accurate. And not a lot of players, well, not a lot, but some players don't have that. And that's kind of been Fields' problem, is throwing the football. So, again, now he's in a new situation with the Steelers. And honestly, would have liked to have seen what he could do with the Bears, with them trading for Keenan Allen and you know, it'd be nice to see what he'd be able to do with them, but that's not the case now. Now he's with the Steelers, which I think is a good spot for him. You're with Mike Tomlin now. And again, right now, I'd probably side with the Bears supporting cast on offense over the Steelers because right now, outside of George Pickens and Pat Freiermuth, I mean, who's their number 2 wide receiver? Because they traded Deontay Johnson. Now you got DJ Moore, who I think right now is better than George Pickens, but that's because George Pickens, his quarterback situation hasn't been great. You see the talent with George Pickens, it's just got to get some consistency at the quarterback position, and if you can get that, I think he could take that next step. But you got DJ Moore over in Chicago, Keenan Allen, Cole Kmet, the trio of running backs that they have. I kind of like the Bears' offense over the Steelers. But again, I like the Steelers duo at running back. The combination of Jaylen Warren and Najee Harris, I think, is fine. Again, Najee has struggled, and Jaylen Warren was pretty good last year. Towards the end of the year, they started running the ball better, both of them. But yeah, I like the duo. Pat Freiermuth's a good tight end. George Pickens, you got him. But they need something else. And the Steelers are looking to add another receiver. So whether that's through the draft, free agency, we'll see. But again, I would have liked to see what Fields could do with the Bears offense now. But that's not going to be the case. So again, I think I'm going to say Justin Fields is going to see playing time at some point. Because I mean, Russell Wilson, I mean, he's not the same quarterback he once was. I mean, how many times am I going to say it? So I think if he struggles at some point, you're going to see Justin Fields taking snaps. And again, has an opportunity to maybe take the job from Russell Wilson in the preseason. Because, I mean, if Justin Fields goes out there and plays really well in the preseason and Russell Wilson doesn't, well, maybe you want to give Fields a chance. But I don't think that's going to happen, but it's a possibility. I think Russell Wilson is going to be the starter day 1, week 1, whoever the Steelers are playing. And we go from there. But, I mean, I don't think... I mean, I don't know. It's going to be interesting after the season what the Steelers decide to do. Because I feel like because they got Russell Wilson on a cheap deal, they might just have him for just this year. And then, maybe they move off of him. But actually, now that I think about it, I do remember seeing a headline that said, like, they could, be looking to keep him long term. I think I remember seeing something like that. But I don't, again, that was a while ago. But I think they're just going to take it one day at a time. And, after the 2024 season, they'll evaluate their options and go from there. But, I'm curious to see what ends up happening. And I think if Justin Fields... I think the smart move for Fields would be, you try to get back with the Steelers. You take on any role that you can get. Because, if you say you want to be a starter, well, you might not. You got to earn it. I think that's really what it comes down to. Is right now, I think Fields has got to earn, being the starter, and we'll see if he gets that chance. So again, if the Steelers don't pick, with them not picking up his 5th-year option, well, going to be a free agent. Yeah, I mean there might be a spot that opens up that gives you a chance to start, but I don't know. I feel like the Steelers might be. Steelers, I think, is a good spot for him. So I don't know. But again, only time will tell with what ends up happening. I think even with him not picking up their 5th-year option, his 5th-year option, I think he probably goes back to the Steelers. I think they find a way to work out a deal, and then we go from there. So And now this is my dad's team we're talking about, the Steelers. So, again, completely different quarterback room. Yeah, it is odd how last year to this year it's just the quarterback room is completely different. Like not one quarterback came back from last year. Everybody's gone. But it's something that you didn't expect out of the Steelers because they just Kenny Pickett you figured was gonna get another shot, and that just ended up not happening. They traded him, and that opened up the door for them to get Justin Fields. They get him. Mason Rudolph signs with the Titans. Mitchell Trubisky's gone, signed with the Bills. And that's it. I mean, completely different quarterback room. Veterans now. In that, Kenny Pickett wasn't really a veteran, but Justin Fields now. So he was 2021. So this is now it's gonna be his fourth year. So yeah, I mean, I guess you can consider him a veteran. You got Russell Wilson, you got Kyle Allen, who's been around for a while. So yeah, different quarterback room, all veterans. Again, if you want to consider Justin Fields a veteran. See, I feel like to be a veteran, I don't know. I feel like you got to be like more than 4 years. But I don't know. That's just me. But yeah, I guess you can consider him a veteran. So yeah, we'll see we will see how everything plays out. But just know that Russell Wilson is the starter. And again, Justin Fields could get his opportunity at some point, and if he does, got to take advantage of it because this could be his last opportunity. It could be his last opportunity to, be a starter. So we'll have to keep our eyes on that. But yeah, so the Steelers, they are not picking up his fifth-year option, so that'll make him a free agent after this season. All right, well, but that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about the Steelers not picking up Fields' fifth-year option. Do you believe that's the right move? I think most people are in agreement with that. Yes, probably the right move. But let me know in the comments. But yeah, that is pretty much it for the show for today. Again, big night, day 1 of the NFL draft. Tomorrow, we'll recap round 1. I'll give you my thoughts on what some teams did. We'll talk about the quarterbacks and where they went, receivers. We'll cover all of that tomorrow. And then, look ahead to, Friday night, tomorrow night and Saturday as well. But definitely excited that the draft is here. It gives us more stuff to talk about. And, yeah, looking forward to watch it tonight. Again, a lot of stuff going on tonight. You got Islanders playoff game. Well, again, this is just talking about me being on the East Coast. You got them. You got playoff games in the NBA. I said the Islanders, but yeah, NHL playoffs. Baseball, of course, NFL draft. This is just it's mayhem. It's mayhem tonight. Because, being where I am, yeah, we want to focus on the draft, but also you got Knicks playoff game as well. So yeah, there's a lot going on. Got to have multiple screens going because it's going to be, other than that, it's going to be a lot of, flipping back and forth with things. So, but I'm excited. It should be a good night. Again, whatever my team decides to do, I'm not going to freak out over it. It's just I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping for the team to turn around. And again, I think for whatever team you root for, I wish you the best of luck tonight with your team, whatever team you're rooting for, and hope that it goes well for you. And that goes for the entirety of the draft. No matter what team you root for, I'm hoping for the best for you. That's my my wish for you to be a nice person and wish that upon you is that your team goes out there and has a good draft. No matter who it is, could be a team that rivals my team. But that's me trying to be a nice person. But yeah, that is again, that's pretty much it for me for today. Again, make sure to check out the other shows as well because I know some of the other shows will be touching upon the draft as well. So make sure to check those out. Give those shows some love, like I've been saying. And yeah, with that is all the time that we have for today. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. I'll be back again tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, recap all the stuff from round one. And until then, I'm Kenneth Grunfelder signing off from the GSMC Football Podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Have a good day. Enjoy the draft tonight, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care.